After finishing Tarball, you will return to the safe house with Bentley selected. The next job is started as Sly, so Halogen select right in order to select Sly instantly. Run down right to the bridge. If you have a flashlight guard spawn, make sure to dodge him using the poles, or in an episode run, use a smoke bomb. In any percent run, if this guard has a loot, it is recommended to take it as this is a quite optimal guard to loot. Use the lamp post to climb on the roof of this building, then drop down on the bouncy pad and run to the trigger when you land on the roof. This job does not have a Banyaku-Komi cutscene at the start, so you can just run to the trigger. In this cutscene, there is a very tiny chance of the game softlogging, as Carmelita never leaves the police HQ, so in case you notice that the fight between the Vince and Eddie guy and the goon is taking longer than it should, reset the game and start the job again. As said, the chances for this happening are super low, but it's good to know in case it ever happens to you. After the cutscene ends, you get to control Carmelita. Our goal here is to take down all the Vince and Eddie guys in 4 different sections. First, we take down 2 guys at the police HQ. The second guard spawns after killing the first one. Second section has 2 guys next to the Rialto bridge. Third section has 2 guys next to the Opera House. And finally, we return to the police HQ to take down 4 guys in total. In the final segment, there are 2 guys spawning on each side of the area. The second guy for both sides spawns once the first guy is killed. Let's go through Carmelita's movement, as this is our first time controlling her. Carmelita can run around and double jump as other characters. You don't need to hold R1 for running, however, as she will run by default. Square will make her kick, and circle will let you do a mega jump. Carmelita's shock pistol can be fired with R1. There are 2 modes that can be toggled by pressing triangle. Auto aim, where Carmelita will automatically target anything inside the crosshair, and manual aim that, well, is manual. In the speedruns, you should always just use the auto aim, there is no reason to use the manual aim. Carmelita's shock pistol has a short cooldown, limiting the shots you can fire in a certain time window. We can bypass this partially with so-called double shot method. This method abuses the fact that if you kick and jump, the cooldown of the shock pistol is reset, and effectively you can do 2 shots back to back with no cooldown. In order to do the double hits, I recommend the following. Spam R1, then every time you see that Carmelita is on the ground, quickly press square followed instantly by X. While still spamming R1, repeat this button sequence when you see that Carmelita has landed. For the actual controller grip you should be doing for the double hits. The recommended way is to press both square and X with your right thumb, either by sliding the thumb from square to X or by rolling it, meaning that you have the end of your thumb on square and the joint on X. The inputs in practice are reversed scuff boost inputs, so if you're already used to scuff boosting with a specific grip, you should probably try to use similar grips for double shots. In case you feel uncomfortable pressing both square and X with your thumb, you can alternatively use your left index and middle fingers for that. This is the setup I started with as a beginner and can recommend this for anyone else starting out. The benefit of this method is that you have 1 finger for each button, but the downside is that moving while shooting is now quite limited since you can't reach the left analog stick that easily. This, however, doesn't matter too much at this point, so if you're just getting started, this is a good method to learn first. Now with Carmelita's movement and abilities covered, let's move to the actual job. After the initial cutscene, you will spawn as Carmelita, facing towards the first Vince and Eddie guy spawn. Each Vince and Eddie guy need to be shot 8 times in order to take them down, after which a small animation of them crashing will play. In this first phase, we need to take down 2 Vince and Eddie guys. The second one spawns from behind the Octavio sign right after the first one has been killed. You don't need to care about health management during this segment, as we are going to do a death abuse anyways after this segment, so you can just focus on aiming and shooting at the Vince and Eddie guys. After you send the 8th shot to drop down the second Vince and Eddie guy, run close to the canal and do a mega jump when the guard has started his falling animation. The goal here is that you are still mid-air when the cutscene starts, since this will put Carmelita below the map during the cutscene and make her die instantly after the cutscene ends. Just make sure you don't jump too early, since if you land on the water before the cutscene starts, the skip won't work. If this ever happens, just run to the water a few times to kill Carmelita. The benefit of the death abuse is that you will instantly spawn next to the next set of guards instead of having to run around the map. We will be doing this again after the third set of guards. After respawning, run and turn your camera slightly left in order to aim at the left guard. In this phase there are 2 guards simultaneously, and while taking them down, we want to move to the left as much as possible to get ready for the next phase. What I recommend doing is to first hit the leftmost guard 4 times, then change target to the right guard and take him down while moving down to the reality bridge, then finish off the first guard. The camera can be a bit weird as it may get stuck at the middle parts of the bridge. To avoid this, make sure to be as close to the fence as possible when shooting the guards. With the auto aim mode enabled, Carmelita will shoot any enemy inside the crosshair area. To make it easier to manage the enemies and track how many shots you have fired to each enemy, try to keep Carmelita shooting only one enemy at a time. This can be achieved by moving the camera to only cover one of the enemies at a time. With poor camera management, you may end up losing shots, as Carmelita will keep targeting an enemy even if they have been hit 8 times already. While finishing the last guard, make your way to this roof, more specifically this elevated part next to a chimney. If you get Carmelita land here before the cutscene starts, Carmelita will automatically be targeting the next set of guards. If you can't make it here in time before the cutscene, Carmelita will instead face the reality bridge, losing a little bit of time since you need to turn the camera. For the third phase, take down the guard close to you first, then change your target to the second guard. You can stay at the edge of the roof when killing the second guard, or alternatively, drop down to the ground level. After killing the last guard, make a jump above the canal for the death abuse. Again, make sure not to go too early, you need to be in air when the cutscene starts. After respawning, 2 guards will spawn, one from behind the police HQ and another one from behind the Octavio sign. Run forwards from the load to get close to the leftmost guard and take him down first, then switch to the rightmost guard after sending the 8 shot to drop down the first guard. Remember the camera management and only keep 1 guard at a time inside the crosshair area. While killing the second guard, a third guard should appear from behind the police HQ, so after hitting the second guard for the 8th time, you can switch to the third guard. Same thing for the fourth guard. After finishing the fourth guard, you can release all the buttons as the job will end with a short cutscene. As amusing it will be to mess around as Carmelita after sending the final shot, I would advise to not do too much jumping here, because if you happen to let scrap when the final cutscene starts, the game will instantly hard lock and you need to restart your console. This will mark the end of Turf War. In the next job we will cover guard duty. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.